Hi again from the Canon Academy Homeschool. I just wanted to go over some of the things we're using for our fall semester of 2022. I have a 6.5-year-old granddaughter. She will be 7 in November, and she is actually doing 2nd grade, trying to finish it up for 3rd grade. So, I found these really cool workbooks at Kroger's. And they were marked 30% off, which took them down to about $9.09. These are so cool, and the kids just love them. So hers is a 3rd grade, because that's what she's going to be going into as soon as she finishes her other workbooks. And we have started using them, and it covers reading comprehension, writing, math, science, exploring emotions. There are reward stickers. So far we are not using them. So this will give you an idea of what the work pages look like. They like them because even though there's some writing, it's not as much as there was in the complete curriculum of basic skills workbooks that I like. So we will go back to those at a later date. So that's language arts and reading. Has cute little poems in here and things like "You Really Got Me" and stuff. How long does it take to get to 50? How long does it take to get to 200? Because they're counting by 5 challenge and counting the cars in the picture. And that's not even in the math section yet. It has things like fact versus opinion, sequencing, things like that. Then we've done several math pages already. So this is using 3 digits for addition and subtraction. It goes into division. So of course there's multiplication, which she started learning multiplication last year. We did not take it super serious, but that's okay. This year will be a different story. Finding and comparing fractions for her grade. And there's some critical thinking pages. Like, can you imagine going to school in a submarine? How about in a rocket ship or on the back of a lion? Draw the most unusual way to get to school. So that would be this page. And on this one it says, imagine that an alien has landed in your town and has no idea how to behave. Write a list of 10 rules the alien must follow in order to get along with others. That gets them thinking about rules and laws. Then it has things on how to deal with different emotions and things like that. And it has science and geography. Here's some geography. Compass rose. Learning what different things on a map would be, including latitude and longitude. Science in action. What would make all the items you circled be attracted to a magnet? So you do that. Then you use plus and negatives, which are positive and negatives on a magnet to attract, so you can find your way through the maze. Making predictions about force, what would happen, things like that. So that's 3rd grade. And right now, that might be the highest grade that this particular workbook goes to. Also, she is using, now we still have our Brainy books for grades 1 to 2, and they're all almost finished with those, so we decided to back off from those a bit. And I have a Skill Builders book for 1st grade through 3rd grade for math that we also do. I think I've shown that in another video. So we're doing Spectrum Math second grade for her, just to make sure she gets all the basics while she's moving on. So this is a sample of some of their pages. There are a lot of check what you know pages before and after lessons. This would be lesson 4. Let's go further back. Pages on time, which are kind of a review for them. They've all been doing this since they were in kindergarten. Of course, measuring centimeters on this particular pages. So you kind of get an idea. These books go up through 8th grade, I believe. At least the 6th, I'm pretty sure 8th grade. She is also using the language arts book for grade 2. And here's one where they combine sentences with nouns, using nouns. Commas and compound sentences. And I like it because they still have little excerpts that tell them different things that can be counted towards science or history and things like that too. Or towards reading comprehension. Irregular verbs such as has and have. Let's see, this is a review lesson towards the back of the book on regular and irregular plural nouns. So you kind of get an idea. Just want to make sure everything's covered before we move on to the next grade. Then we're also finishing our Summer Bridges books. Hers is for to transition from grade 2 to grade 3. And I like these because there are different things on each page. Like here's math and here is vocabulary. So number sense, vocabulary. Over here, language arts and writing. Fitness flashes. Says touch your toes 10 times. Those happen every few pages. Here's another one, reading comprehension of phonics. Addition, which is 3 digits here, followed by vocabulary. They also have measurements and grammar, building comprehension, more fitness flashes. This one says do 10 lunges. So these are great, and the kids love them. Now she is in this second semester, second grade reader. I do love these. She has just about 3 or 4 more stories and she'll be done. And then she's going to use an old version of Hooked on Phonics, which has little white folders. There are 100 of them. And you read the little story, then you answer questions, you put words together, things like that. There's a printout sheet, which I'm sorry I did not get that. I think I have shown it in another video. If you want to see that, I will do it in still another video yet. She is actually on book 5 already and not having any troubles whatsoever. Then my 7-year-old great-grandson is reading from this book. It's a 1960s reader, Little White House. I used this with the other 2 as well and several other children over the years. Easy peasy. It uses the same words over and over in different stories and builds on it, adding just a word or 2 at a time, but using the same words over and over so they get used to seeing those. And I love it. And what I also like about these is at the back of the book, oh, now this one isn't going to do it. I just missed that page. Oh yes, at the back of the book it has the vocabulary list of all the words that have been learned or should have been mastered. It also tells which book it came after and which one it precedes and everything in this series. I did get them on eBay and it was costly because they are vintage. This is my second set, so this is a keeper set. Then my 5-year-old grandson is finishing up this book. It's the second in the series, Let's Be Friends 1.2. He actually just finished it, and I told him he could put it back on the shelf, and I meant the bookshelf where they can just look at them at will, but he thought I meant his particular shelf and put it there, so this will be moved. He is going on to read a variety of books off the shelves. He's reading one that I have that is about a dog named Biscuit. It has several Biscuit stories in it. And the 7-year-old great-grandson is also reading from that book. Now, both of the boys actually have their own copy of this Spectrum Reading Grade 1. And it seems a little simple, but it's... I mean, my 5-year-old, he is on the brink of becoming what you would call an early, almost fluent reader, semi-fluent reader. So he's getting most of this. My 7-year-old great-grandson hasn't been reading but a year. He really doesn't like to read. So he gets some of the words, but needs a lot of help. So there's a difference there. So this one we would do beginning sounds, and here's the sequence. And they're going to build on this story about the ducks all through the book, and they're going to study their long and short vowels, which that's part of the problem that my great-grandson needs to work on. Then they'll go to reading comprehension stories again with these, and they had similar in another workbook, and they're fine. Then they also each have the first grade language arts book. Actually, I have one copy because I wasn't going to use them, and I sold one in a yard sale. So now I'm making copies of this so that they both have copies. Okay, for instance, they will be learning about prepositions. They've been working on nouns and verbs and pronouns. Sentences, things like that. As you can see, there's a little bit of writing, but some of the pages are like this. Combining sentences so they can make stories out of them, things like that. But they're really actually liking these books after all. Now both the boys have the grade 1 math or Spectrum. And it starts out super easy, so they're a little bit bored because they've done a lot of this already. But I'm like, it doesn't hurt to go back and get your basics and everything. It helps them to memorize it. Here's a check what you learned, where they do a bunch of problems, and then the story problems, of course. As we get further back, here's a mid-test for chapters 1 to 2, and it continues here. Oh, and it also tells them when they have to show their work. Then addition, subtraction up through 20. And they will actually end up with time as well. And measuring length and height. There are fractions and stuff which they're used to doing. Now they are in grade 2 Dr. Seuss books. And again, it's the same thing as the other book. A lot of drawing line stuff. These are antonyms and synonyms. Same and different. The verb to be, and you work on it over here, filling in the blanks of the different versions, and then you circle the right ones over here to finish the sentence. So that's language arts. Math, they've done several pages of 2. This is counting by tens and connecting by dots. Doing the horizontal problems. Here they're learning to group them and add the groups. Up to 18 it looks like. Inches, feet, yards, and miles. Then expressing your fillings page. And let's go back to science, which is in the green. The water cycle. Life science. and blending and life science. Then they both have the summer bridges, grades 1 to 2 transition. And again, it's several different things. Now somebody else wrote on these. Here we go. There's a page without writing, edition of Phonics, same as the other book I showed you. So that's what we're using for our fall semester. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It gave you some information you might need and use. Please hit like and subscribe below and share with your friends. Thank you.